Hi there, welcome to the next episode of Flyboy. Today is going to hopefully be the first time I'm going to test the Air Design Susi 21, which I bought from Alistair. So if you're watching, thanks Alistair for providing me with this. This was actually a demo, it wasn't brand new, but you can see lovely lightweight Trail 38 rucksack, which I'm testing out. And I've got my phone in here. I've got loads of pockets. I've got so in there with the harness is the slip, which is only 500 grams, super lightweight, and that's including the diaper. Now the diaper is the airbag, and I don't like the idea of not having any back protection, so the airbag is only 250 grams, and of course the harness itself is 250 grams, so it's about 500 grams, and it packs down to the thinnest little thing. So I just really wanted to get a lightweight setup. Obviously I've got my Volt 4 with my Range X Alps 2, which I can't wait to try. But it's still, I mean, look, it's still very wet here, and just waiting a little bit longer until those thermals kick in. I mean, it's now, where are we? February. It's February the sorry, I can't get over the style. February the 7th. And it's just starting to get like that feel of spring, but it's not spring yet by any means. I mean, it's on the border of spring. And check out the sunshine. I think I did this walk before on one of the episodes in the summer, and it was a lot more overgrown. So that's why I wanted to get this lightweight setup, was for going on holidays and you know, just going to mountain areas. The Susi 21 is big enough to thermal, but it's certainly not what you would call a cross-country wing. So let's go and see what she's like. There's the Susi. Wake up, little Susi, wake up. And here's there's the harness. Look at that. You can see it's filling with air already. The diaper is filling with air. So I'll get it all set up and have a look. The wind is definitely off. It's coming from there. So I'm very doubtful I can soar, but I'm going to try. The wing inflates very easily. Wow, lovely. Feels very positive. It took me a while to figure out this harness because it's very different. I'm going to give it a go though. Some birds thermaling. And we're up! Woohoo! And we're going down! Woohoo! Going down. Forgot to turn my vario on. But you can see I'm just maintaining. I need to turn my vario on really. Woohoo! The harness is pretty comfortable actually. It's more comfortable than I thought it would be. I just haven't got my speed bar connected yet. Oh, whoa, that's a bit of sink. Definitely some thermals around because that was sinky. There's a thermal. Let's try and turn in it. Forgot the vario. There was the sink outside the thermal. Just creeping up to here to see if there's any more lift there. No. Oh, should have stayed in that thermal. There it is. Feels very solid, but the harness, I'm not used to this harness. I don't know if you can see those birds. I'm feeling very naked up here in this harness. I'm just not used to this. I mean, I've got nothing. I just feel very naked. Whoa, there's a thermal. There we go. Well done, Tom. Spring thermals. Woohoo! Sushi thermals. Yes, she does. She does thermal. Woohoo! I've even got my vario on, but she's thermaling. Nice. Lovely. Okay, I've got out of it now. We've got to watch out for those cables. Let's try another turn. There's definitely some lift there. Feels like I should turn left. Fantastic. I'm still feeling very naked. I mean, there's not a lot of harness here. Look at it. There's not a lot of harness. Yoo-hoo! Managed to turn the vario on. Woohoo! It's really good. This is the best day. I mean, I didn't expect that. You can see there's clouds everywhere. There's a bird. the sink outside the thermal, and there's the thermal. I kind of wish I brought my Volt now. I mean, this is a cross-country day. Weight shift. Tom's thermaling over there. Seems to be about here. Woohoo! Remembered I left my bag on the hill, so I'm going to go and pick up the rucksack. You can see it's quite off to the left. See how fast I'm going this way. Just got to be careful because there's a thermal just out there. Tom's in it at the moment, so wide turn, come around for a landing before that thermal gets me. Feels quite difficult to lean forward. This wind. Oh, the wind's picked up a bit. Wow. Oh wow, really enjoying this, but I'm wishing I brought my Volt now. Very, very thermic, perfect conditions for flying here now, apart from it's slightly off to the left. Wow, first impressions, I'm really happy with the Susi. It's, I mean, you can see no problem thermaling whatsoever. On an early spring day. I was keeping up with Tom on his Sigma 9, I think, Sigma 10 maybe. Yeah. Oh no, that's an IOTA. So cool. I'm going to get my rucksack and get back in the air. But I am feeling pretty cold. I need to turn the volume up on my Vario. Very pleased with my new gloves. These are the new Gin gloves. They're not heated, they're just normal ones, which I just recently got, so happy with those. The best gloves I've had, because I've never had paragliding gloves before. But look at all the clouds. I must get back up. Well, I've landed and the sun's come out. I've been playing around. Will's turned up, Wafty Will, and as you can see he's doing really well in his Cure 2. Tom's just taken off again. The sun's come out, but I have to say it's not as good as it was, because I just tried just now and I was sort of struggling to get any height. The Susi, it is a slightly smaller wing, but first impressions so far are very impressed. The harness, I got to be honest, I'm not loving the harness because I'm feeling so naked on it. I'm just not used to. There's just been so little. This is the rucksack, of course. This is the rucksack, just goes over the back. But to be honest, I'm getting used to it. The only thing I don't really like about it is when you're standing up, it's very uncomfortable. It's a bit of a nut cruncher, and I have to say, it's hard when you're coming into land. It's hard to lean forward, because I like to really lean forward like a stork on landing and taking off. Like there's a buzzard, like Kriegel does. No, I don't liken myself to him, but we try and copy the master, don't we? And but yeah, so it's sort of hard to lean forward. I'm sort of, for some reason, I'm not able to lean forward too much, which feels a bit strange. But I think for a sort of a holiday harness, if you're going somewhere and you really don't want to take your main wing, you just want to take something small and fun, this is fine. But of course I could use this wing with my range. I don't have to use this harness. But I'm going to get back up there, give it another go, because Tom's doing quite well. But I guess the sun's come out because possibly the air's dried out a bit. the direction's not too bad. It's actually pretty good. So I'm going to go and give it another go. Well, sorry I've not been filming much, but I've just been scratching about and just getting to know the Susi and the harness. I'm starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. I've got my speed bar connected, but the wind is it's light. Well, if I had a normal wing, I think it would be fine. As you can see, even Dave on his Zeno 2, he's not high. Will was doing very well. But it's sort of light scratchy really, especially with this wing. I've been low a couple of times, really quite low, and I ended up down here a number of times, right down the bottom, and having to hike up again. So I'm feeling tired, but it's great exercise. One thing I will say with the Susi is it's extremely agile, very easy to turn, and it's very nippy, agile. The only thing is when you pull the back risers, I've noticed, because there's the CB connector here, which is the speed bar, when you pull the back risers, you kind of end up pulling on the B risers, which it makes it really quite hard work, because it really makes there's quite a lot of effort to pull them when you're on back riser control, you know, when I'm doing the kiting that Greg Hamilton teaches. But apart from that, it's extremely nice, really nimble, really safe feeling. It feels very solid and easy to turn, obviously, even with this harness. I mean, if you had a normal harness, it would be really even easier. So I'm just walking back now. Yeah, just ended up taking ages to pack up. I'm just not used to this tiny bag and the slip. In the end, unfortunately, I had to disconnect it, which I don't like doing. I normally leave my harness connected. Hang on. Farmer there, it's nice. I've got to walk all the way back over to there to Shorewell. Had a great little flight, really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed it. Just the best part was at the beginning, when those thermal clouds were just kicking off. I can't believe that, actually. That was just like the perfect time to take off, because it got really lifty, as you could see, and I didn't have the Varia, and even with the Susi, I was definitely feeling a bit cold and I wasn't used to the harness. It was, you know, they always say you should have to try a new wing and one thing at a time, and I went and tried both things new. So but yeah, in the end I started to relax a bit and started to get used to the harness a bit more, and I'm still not, I'll be honest, I'm not super impressed with the slip. I find it's actually quite comfortable for flying around. Weight shift is fine, but it's that taking off, and then when you get into the landing position, you have to kind of stand up, and the where your legs are, it kind of slips. That's probably why they call it the slip, and it's actually really uncomfortable, because you can feel it kind of really pushing on your legs. And then what I'm finding is I just can't get into the leaning forward stance, which I normally like to be in for landing. You know, I like to normally be leaning really forward, and for takeoff, to avoid that kind of sitting back too early, which is obviously best to be leaning forward. But yeah, so apart from the sort of takeoff and landing and the uncomfort of very uncomfortable when you're, you know, in the standing ground handling position and coming into land, it's not very comfortable. So yeah, but apart from that, I like it a lot. There's Chillerton. You can see the shade, it's all going into shade now. But I really I've been here all day, just playing around. I didn't really want to stop, I just wanted to keep playing and getting used to it. So anyway, that's my first impressions, but the Susi is extremely agile. I actually had one really nice thermal and I was able to crank it around beautifully. It was a lovely feeling to have such turn authority. And I was shooting up. The Vario was really screaming at that point, and I was able to stay right in that little thermal for only about three or four 360s. But who's it for? So basically a wing like this, the reason why I got it is to have something really lightweight and small packing that I can take into the mountains, or top to bottoms when I don't really want to fly my main wing, but also for flying the coastal because it's quite fast. I can fly this wing instead of my main wing, and just playing about. I wouldn't really use it places like here that much, because you see you're always that little bit lower. I suppose really what it's for is for flying off a mountain when it's not really cross-country conditions, but you'd use it to just do a big top to bottom in style with a lot more glide. If you were flying a single skin, it's not going to have the glide that this thing has. It's super safe as well, feels really solid. So who's it for? It's not really something I'd recommend you use as a main wing, but if you want a second wing for playing around, lightweight, packs down really small, I'm going to have to just make a decision about whether I use my other harness with it, because I could definitely use the range harness with this wing and be a lot more comfortable. So, and the last thing is I'm thinking about getting a bigger bag, because if I had a bigger bag, lightweight, but just a bit bigger, something about 80 litres, I'm going to have it's going to be so much easier to just roll the wing up in the harness. Sorry, roll the harness up in the middle of the wing like I normally do, instead of sort of like, how do I get this in? It's just this bag is so small. If you just look now, it's tiny. But anyway, I've talked a lot, so I'll leave you guys in peace. Thank you for watching, and I'm going to enjoy a nice easy stroll back and have my late lunch. So thanks guys. It's good to be out in the air again after a long time of no flying. Just felt so good. A bit nervous at first, but then I just really started to really enjoy being in the air again. And I wish you all many good spring thermal days. Spring's here, so be careful. Remember, spring thermals can be a little bit scary and a bit dangerous if you are not current. It's not dangerous, but it's only because we're not current, and then we can get ourselves into those spring thermals. We're not quite always ready, so take it easy, be careful, but enjoy. Thanks for watching. Bye then.